What is up, everybody? OGP back with you, and I just got out of the theater seeing The Batman. Yes, Robert Pattinson as the Batman. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it. Before I get into this review, let me say that I will go a few minutes without spoilers. Then at some point I will mention spoilers are coming, so if you don't want to hear them, you turn the video off and maybe come back after you see the movie and, check out the rest of my thoughts on this film here. I really liked The Batman. It was good, and it gave us a different type of Batman. A more, in my opinion, like kind of raw Batman. He didn't have as many high-tech gadgets and things. It was more of him having to figure things out and more of a human element to the Batman. So I liked that with this. But again, I want to avoid spoilers, so I'm not going to get too much into that right now. I did like the movie, and I thought Robert Pattinson gave us a good performance. He gave us, he delivered what the script and what the filmmakers wanted that Batman to be, I believe, in my opinion. And I thought he did a great job. And to me, that was like one of the biggest questions going into this movie was how was the Twilight guy going to turn into Batman? And he did a great job. I'm not mad at his performance at all. And then Zoe Kravitz as the Catwoman, and I hope this shouldn't be spoilers to anybody, but I liked her performance as well. I thought the role they gave her, I was very happy with the way it was written. I liked the way it was written, and I'm not going to talk about that until I get into spoilers anymore. I liked what they did with the Catwoman. And Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon was phenomenal. I really loved the interaction between him and Batman. I thought those characters were written really well. Obviously, before this, well, no, pump the brakes right there. We'll save that for spoilers. And Colin Farrell as the Penguin was amazing. I loved his role and the spin they put on the Penguin. He's still the Penguin, but it's definitely not Danny DeVito's Penguin, that's for sure. Now, Paul Dano as the Riddler, that one it was no Jim Carrey. It was, he's not as over the top, but solidly batshit crazy. And so I think he did a good job. I don't have a problem with that character at all. I thought his performance was good. But if I was casting, maybe not even casting, I might have written that character a little more over the top, but I liked it. It was dark. It was like you took the Riddler and mixed in a little Bane and really took out some of the goofiness and made him more dark, like more. He was obviously always been evil, but this is a really, really dark character. And Andy Serkis as Alfred was amazing. He carried that Alfred torch very, very well. His character is still that strong kind of father figure presence that Bruce Wayne needs. Kind of helps facilitate some of the Batman things, but not quite on the level as a Dark Knight. A little different, and I liked what they did with it. This is just, pump the brakes on that again. Wait for spoilers. Overall, I really enjoyed the entire cast. I thought they all did a great job, and there wasn't one person that, really annoyed me or anything like that. There wasn't that one character that's like, there was no Jar Jar Binks. It was like there was nobody that was just like, what the hell is this guy doing? I think they thought out really well what each character was going to mean to this story, and they gave them a reason for being there. And so I enjoyed it. I think they did a great job. They really thought out this film. Another thing that is always scary to me with big studio films anymore is how much political agenda are they going to throw in. And this one, there was like one little sentence that I'm not even going to get into, but there was one phrase mentioned that pissed me off, and I was like, can't we watch one movie without somebody having to shove some political crap down our throat? But no, that was there. It was small, but it was there, and it like pissed me off for a few minutes. But overall, the movie was good enough that I was able to kind of put that aside and still enjoyed it. I've heard people saying, oh my God, 3 hours, it dragged or whatever, but I really disagree with that. There was constant action through this film. You had a couple scenes that maybe could have been tightened up where there was some dialogue going on, but we need to develop the story. For example, Breaking Bad versus Better Call Saul. If a lot of people said, oh, the first season of Better Call Saul was like boring or slow, you're developing the story. You have to give the audience the reason that, what is the MO of these characters. And so you have to develop that. And that can't all be with shooting and blowing stuff up. So those scenes were fine. They didn't drag too long. They weren't that bad. Could have been tightened up, but it wasn't bad. But as far as the pacing of it, I thought it was good. A lot of action and a solid story. For 3 hours, I was not mad. DC movies a lot of times don't have a scene after the credits. This follows suit. You can stick around to the end of the credits. There's a little teeny tiny something. If you walk out once the credits start rolling, you're okay. You're not missing anything. Probably The Dark Knight would be the best Batman movie of all time. Michael Keaton's my favorite Batman actor. This one wasn't there with The Dark Knight, but it wasn't that far off. An 8 out of 10, it might be a little high, but it's not far. I think I'm going to give this a 7.75 out of 10. And I recommend everybody check it out. It's definitely a good one. It doesn't feel like 3 hours. It is something that I will definitely purchase when it comes out on physical media. If you want to, go ahead and pause this video, turn it off, come back, watch it later, whatever. Go ahead and do that now. I'll give you a couple more seconds before I get into some minor spoilers and some more big things. So, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, Clarice, tick tock, tick tock. Here we go. All right. First of all, I was very happy that this was not a Batman origin story. The movie starts off, you're right there in the middle of the thick of it. There's craziness going on, and you can tell Batman has already been going for a while. He's already established relationships with the cops. There's an element of the cops that don't like him, some that support him, and this and that, but he's obviously established himself in the city, and they already have like the big bat signal, to summon him. And this was actually I felt like it was a more raw Batman. It was a more plausible Batman, where he wasn't completely over the top, like Ben Affleck in the giant armor suit and all that. He didn't have as many gadgets. He was more hand-to-hand fist fighting, investigating, figuring things out. And that's where Alfred, his connection to it, where Alfred was helping him solve the riddles and that type of stuff, as opposed to like, helping him prepare, weapons or whatever else. So I really liked, Alfred kind of his role as like, wanting to see Bruce Wayne be more public, and the connection between Alfred and Bruce Wayne's parents and that stuff. So that was really good. I liked what they did with him. But Batman, his Batmobile was pretty badass. It had like this like metal element to it where it was just really cool. Kind of looked like a mix between like an old school, like just a muscle car. Like, I don't know if it was like an old Camaro or Firebird that they just like jacked up and put like like an afterburner on the back. And rather than having like a bat plane or all these crazy different things, it was like Batmobile, which was a really cool car, but not like super over the top. And then a motorcycle, which was basically a motorcycle. And he was good at handling them. They served their purpose, but they weren't like just over the top super machines. There's a really cool scene with the freeway chase where he's chasing the Penguin, and all the trucks crash and everything. And again, these are spoilers, so don't be mad if you're watching this, where all the trucks crash, and then there's like the one truck that has like the ramp on the back that he jumps over, and like you see the Batmobile come out of the giant explosion. It's just like badass. Like, it was so cool. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. I loved that shot, that scene. It was so cool. I definitely enjoyed where Batman was technologically. I like that. The Batcave was cool. It was dark and dreary. It wasn't, all well lit and everything. Kind of like, the Batcave in the Dark Knight still was, the cave and stuff, but like, where all like the weapons were and everything, and that was like really pristine and clean and all that. This definitely had a different feel. It was like, like car parts and motorcycle parts laying around and stuff. Maybe this wasn't as well of a developed Batman as the Dark Knight, but it was good. It was good. And now, and as far as the Batman suit, not my favorite suit of all time. Body wise and everything, I was okay with it. The helmet, like the head, like hat cover mask, like on top it was like kind of some weird bumps and stuff. Like at times it made his head look deformed or whatever. So I wasn't the biggest fan of this element of it, but the suit in general was cool. I liked it, no problem with it at all. And I liked what they did with the Riddler. And I was almost mentioned it was that the Riddler, he almost kind of, because he had this mask covering his face, but he had his glasses on the outside. And when he talked, it was almost like a hint of like Bane, or that muffled kind of voice, not the over-the-top green with the question marks all over the suit and all that, but just a really dark, demented dude. He was going through the movie believing that he was kind of working with the Batman, or that he was maybe going to flip the Batman because, and this is one of the things that you really have to, you can ask yourself, you can debate. Is the Riddler, he does bad things, but he does bad things to bad people. So throughout the film, it's like, okay, well, these people are all scumbags, but we know we don't do justice that way. We arrest people and all that. We don't kill them. But until the end of the movie, he was out for justice and everything. But at the end of the movie, what he did was, cause chaos and, put a whole lot of people's lives in danger of just innocent civilians. So he's a bad guy. But if you didn't have that end of the movie, all the way up until that point, you can say, is Riddler like really the justice warrior that Batman should be? Then the Penguin and these other characters, like the Penguin wasn't, like I said, it was not your Danny DeVito Penguin. He was a more mob, like an old, like Scarface, Al Capone kind of looking character that, really was like out of a mob movie. And these other gangsters and all, going back to more like I said, like that kind of raw Batman story. It was a crime mystery movie with a lot of action. But these criminals, they were literally like mobster gangster people that didn't have this, ability. It took the Marvel out of the criminal and made them real people. And I like that. The things that they did, like at the end, blowing up all the levees to flood the city, plausible. Car chase, plausible. Everything that he did, like in the Riddler, setting, these people up to get killed was really cool. And I want to mention on that too, when they put the thing around the dude's neck, or the other dude had the thing over his head for the rats, man, did it feel like a Saw movie or what? They did really good with the evil element and the dark, real troubles that Gotham City is having. It was really, really good. But definitely I was watching it going like, man, like these would have been good things for a Saw movie. And I've got to talk about the Catwoman. I thought they did a great job with the Catwoman. Something that you see in comic book movies a lot now is that the main character just can't get shit done himself. There's a point at the end where Batman is like in trouble. The guy's gonna shoot him, and Catwoman comes to save the day, and that's great. The way that Batman kind of one-upped Catwoman the entire time was really good. Because Batman, he's supposed to be, he's Justice League. He is, a comic book like God. He's one of the ultimate, comic book superheroes. And, Catwoman is like more like a Robin, where they're not on that level. Later in the story, she has this kiss with Batman. They have a moment, and then ultimately at the end of the story, it's like, was Batman going to say stay? Because she's like, are you asking me to stay? And he doesn't respond. And he wants to respond, but he doesn't because that is going to put her in danger. So it's like, let her go do her thing, and he'll stay in Gotham. Kind of gut says that she'll be back. Kind of feel like she'll be back. And probably the last thing I want to touch on is the end of the movie where the Riddler is locked up in the jail cell. And adjacent to his cell is another cell with another bad guy in it. And you hear him start laughing. And immediately you're like, okay, the Joker's next door. And so they start kind of not planning or anything, but they're kind of making a connection. So I think we're going to get a Joker as a villain in the future. Now, the Penguin is out there, and the Penguin is, as they say in the film, you knock off the head of the criminal element, you're going to have a free-for-all, people grabbing for the top. And so the Penguin is out there. Will the next movie be about the Penguin? Will the next movie be multiple villains? I don't know at this point, but, I don't know if there's any rumors or speculation out there officially. But whatever, you've still got the Penguin, you've got the Joker, and you've still got the Riddler. All three still alive and active in that universe now. So whichever way they go in the next movie, I'm excited for it. I'll be looking to see it, and when it comes out in the theater, I'll probably, just like today, be out there day one checking it out. So I went on for a while here, but basically, I like the movie. I really recommend everybody check it out. And I appreciate you guys for watching this and listen to my thoughts on this movie. If you would, give the video a thumbs up and like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Let me know what you thought of the movie. And maybe leave a comment down below, like what you thought. I gave it, like I said, 7.75 out of 10. Almost an 8. Almost an 8. Not 7.5, but like 7 3/4 is what I gave it out of 10. What do you rate it? Let me know down below. You can go, the Fat Samurai got his 1 to 5 scale. Fluffy and I used to have a different scale, but now we're just going with the 1 to 10 to simplify it. And so let me know down below what your thoughts on it were. Did you like it? And were you as happy with it as I was? So again, thank you very much for watching. Till the next one, you guys take it easy, be safe. Don't go get no COVID.